210 Boxing TV here with Shawn Porter. Here you are for the Andy Ruiz, Luis Ortiz card. What do you think about the fight?
Great fight, great matchup. Stylistically, I mean, the whole nine, the size. I think there's going to be a lot of strategy involved on both sides. I'm really intrigued to see how this fight goes because both guys have been down early in their last fight. So I'm interested to see how that goes. If one guy gets knocked out early, the other guy is able to capitalize and finish it there. You know what I mean? I think their opponents in the last fights that they had, I don't think their opponents really had what it took to finish them. So in this fight, I think both guys, Luis and Andy both, I think they have what it takes to finish it early. So I'm really curious to see how this fight goes, man. I think the card overall too, man. This is a pay-per-view card. It's flying under the radar.
What do you think about Ryo and Pitbull, and then Abner, of course, coming back?
Yeah, I mean, everybody loves the Pitbull. Abner's coming back, which is just, it's mind-blowing when I seen the announcement, you know what I mean? So he looks good, he looks happy. And here's the interesting thing, you know, he's been off for about like 4 or 5 years. And the interesting thing about that is you can go away and it can be good for you, you know what I mean? The time off can really be beneficial for you, you know what I mean? So obviously that remains to be seen. How you spend your time off, I think obviously makes a huge difference, but I'm hyped to see Abner in the ring.
Now, do you think Pitbull and Ryo can be a future fight? Because they've been fighting on the same undercards. Do you feel like that's what it's setting up for?
I don't think it's a future fight in terms of, I don't think it's going to happen next year. I don't think it's going to happen soon. I think Pitbull's a little further along than Venezuela. And I think the Pitbull, I think that the people that are doing things for him, I think they know that he's further along and they shouldn't be looking back for a younger guy who's undefeated. You know? Man. Good luck to you, boss.
Now, Shawn, I gotta ask you. You fought Bud Crawford and you fought EJ.
I'm not asking any questions about Terence and Errol. Those guys are great, and we're just waiting on that fight to get signed.
Everyone's saying November 19th. If you have to pick a winner, who you going with?
I just told you I wasn't answering no questions.
Is there something brewing that you heard about?
No, not at all. With those two guys? No, but the rumors are November. Well, the rumors were October, weren't they?
Yeah.
Right. So I'm gonna answer questions in July, then I'm gonna answer questions in August, and then and then you know what I mean. Here's the thing, and it's like I said before. If I say anything about Errol, now all of a sudden I'm hating on Terence. If I say anything about Terence, now all of a sudden I'm hating on Errol. Both those guys are great. You put me in the middle of that,
they're gonna switch your words
like,
up.
What the hell? What am I gonna do? You know what I mean? So I want the heat until it's time for it to come.
Or what you say before the Porter Way podcast?
That too. You know what I mean? But I did, man. I learned that I can't be stingy and not give you guys what you deserve as well.
But
so
Shawn,
I'm not saving anything for the Porter.
I gotta ask you, man. This past Monday, we had a chance to speak to Canelo, and I don't know if you've heard, but he said that pretty much a pseudo beast before he wouldn't be willing to fight him because he's his fellow countryman, he's Mexican. People they made a big deal about it. I mean, I don't know if it's right or wrong. That's why I'm asking for your opinion. Where would you stand on Canelo deciding not to fight a Mexican moving forward? Because there's two brothers, Munguia, Benavidez is half Mexican.
Yeah.
You know, like.
I mean, hey, once upon a time, me and Terence said we weren't never gonna fight. You know what I mean? That was once upon a time.
As friends.
The thing just kind of changed and evolved. You know, so today that's how Canelo feels. I was surprised to hear that, like coming from you, but then quickly I reminded myself, like, hey, you've been in that position before too. You know, so maybe things have changed, but if not, I was in that position, so I do understand it and I do respect it. You know. Y'all may not like it, but
so
that kind of is what it
from
is.
Then? Where's he coming? Where?
It's coming from a place of respect. It's coming from a place of. It's coming from a place of, and I'll just I'll speak for myself. For me, it just came from a place of me knowing Terence and feeling like that's my guy, and I just don't want to get in the ring and have to hit my guy. And then for me, it just became a thing where my guy is the best guy out there, so I got to fight the best guy. You know, so I really did, man. I put aside, any sentiments I had for not wanting to hit him, not wanting to prepare for him, not wanting to look at him as an enemy or anything like that at all. And I don't know if that's something that Canelo can do. I do to a degree. I do think that it's interesting that he's saying, "Hey, that's my fellow countryman. I'm not gonna fight him. So we'll see what happens.
Cejudo and Benavidez feel different. Obviously, they're in a different point. They want the Canelo fight. I mean, Cejudo's like, it's an American citizen now. Benavidez like, I'm Ecuadorian. Like, we can still do this, bro.
Everybody's like, yo, don't.
There's a way out of this.
Yeah. As they should, you know. They should, you know, even same time. Like it came to a point where I was like, I want to fight you, and Terence was like, hey, bro, nah, like, what did we talk about? And I'm like, it's you it, you know. Yeah. So both those guys is like Cejudo and Benavidez is like, hey, don't forget, like, this is a game, this is a fight game. You know what I mean? So we in here to get the best, you know.
Yeah, sure. So, Shawn, Keith Thurman recently had an interview, you know, saying that
Showtime.
Yeah.
With the white T-shirt on.
Basically, he was, you know, he's not a gatekeeper, you know, because people were trying to. I think Brian Custer was talking to him about boots.
Yeah.
But he was also talking, you know, about Spence and Crawford. You've obviously been in the ring with all three guys. Is it kind of unfair for people to put Thurman in that? I mean, Thurman did beat all the guys Spence beat before Spence did.
Keith is my guy. Keith put himself in that position, and I don't think he put himself in that position on purpose. I do think that, and I don't speak candidly, I do think that he tried to control the business side of his career a little too much. And I think he tried to be a little too strategical, and I think that it did backfire on him to a degree. But I mean, he had injuries, things that he just could not control, and I think that his time away from the ring, it kind of just pushed him to the back, and it continued to push him to the back. So, you know, even in his comeback fights, they weren't the old one time that we're used to seeing. And when you don't see that old one time, it's like, hey, who are you now? You are a gatekeeper. You are a has-been, and things of that nature. I think, you know, I said on the Porterway podcast that Keith, get back in the ring ASAP. It doesn't matter who you're getting in the ring with. Get back in the ring ASAP. And okay, so you don't want to be a gatekeeper. Then take on somebody who is on that same level that you just fought with Barrios, dominate that dude, and then say, I'm ready for the big time. You can't stay away for so long, and then people expect people that still have that same respect for you. So it kind of just is what it is. Do I think he's a gatekeeper? No. Do I think he's on the verge of becoming a gatekeeper? Yes, because of his inactivity. So I think that that's what people are looking at. They're just looking at him not being the same guy, and that's what the gatekeeper is. Gatekeeper is the guy who was great, but is not great anymore. You know. So
if we don't get Spence Crawford, because we still don't have the announcement, so if we don't get it, if Keith is the next guy,
I want to see Keith get one more fight. Like a tune-up fight. I think that people need to respect him coming back from everything. Get that last little tune-up fight in. I mean, get it in ASAP, and then get ready to get in the ring with somebody who's up there. Because if you're not getting in the ring with them, now it's got to be Boots, or it's got to be Virgil Ortiz or Staniones or somebody like that, yeah.
And Shawn, I wanted to piggyback off of that topic there.